The EasySMX 9124 Pro got some major upgrades from the last controller they had, which was the 9124, and well, let's talk about them. Just a quick disclaimer of this controller, EasySMX did send this controller out to me, but they're not telling me what to say. They're not seeing this video before you guys, and they're gonna hear of any shortcomings of this controller, just like you guys will, so they can make better products for you and me, the consumers, over time. Compatibility with this controller, well, you can use it on Nintendo Switch, with Switch Lite, OLED, those. And you can also use it on PC like I talked about. You can use it on your Android or iOS phone. And again, you can use it on an Android TV if you have the USB hookup with it. The battery inside this wireless controller is a 600 milliamp battery, which means you get about 10 hours of gameplay fully charged, and it takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to fully charge this controller. Also on the front of the controller, I want to point out it has a USB-C port on it, so you can charge the controller, and it comes with a short USB cable with it. Also in the box, it came with an instruction manual, and it came packaged fine. There was no point of showing that to you, but there is some groove cuttings out in the front of it. I looked into this. This is actually an attachment that they sell that you can put on the front of this thing to have a tilt with your cell phone to be able to mount on it, so you can play with your cell phone right here in front of you. It's actually a pretty cool little thing. Maybe they'll want to send it out to me, and I'll do a quick short on it with this controller showing you guys how it works. Well, they send it out to me, that is. But in any case, I'm going to link that down below in the description, as well as this controller. So be on the lookout for that down there. Let's get into the meat of the video now, guys. The XYBA button. So these are just your normal, typical, everyday membrane buttons. There's nothing special about them. They do click, or press, I should say. They're not clicky. They just press down. They are color coordinated though. As in what I mean is they have some RGB colors in them. Your X is blue, your Y is blue. It's just so backwards from the Xbox controller, but yet they're the Xbox colors. So I'm just, my brain right now is like literally just like fried. But anyways, you can see the colors on here. You can control the RGB colors by simply holding the right trigger, left trigger, and then the right stick in and press up to brighten them, or press down to dim them. And then you can also turn them off or on by simply just holding the left button and right button at the same time for 5 seconds. It will cut them off if they're on, and it'll cut them on if they're off. Simple as that. The other actuation buttons on the front of the controller, they are kind of flush with the controller for the most part. There's a little bit of a lip on them, not much of them. They've actually got a little bit of a clickiness to them, so you do know when you click them and stuff, they're fine, they work, they're there, moving on. The D-pad on this controller, well, you know, the D-pad, if I'm gonna flaw this controller anywhere, it's gonna probably be the D-pad. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not like the worst D-pad I've ever felt on, but it's nowhere near like a D-pad on the 8-bit do. In my personal opinion, the Xbox Series D-pads are better. I honestly think if they would have put a dome D-pad on this particular style D-pad, or this how they have it built inside, I think it would have been better. But they went with the cross D-pad on here, and I think that kind of sold it short by a little bit. So D-pad's not horrible, it's just not my favorite thing about the controller, and that's saying a lot because there's not a whole lot of my cons about this controller personally. Does this have a 3.5mm jack for your headset? No, it does not. So just, yeah, majority of pro Switch controllers nowadays don't have those, so just in case you were wondering. Let's talk about the joysticks on this controller. The joysticks are, well, the top of them are weird. You know, they have like a smooth, there's no concave to them where they dip in or anything. They're kind of almost flat. They have a little bit of a lip on the outside of the joystick coming out. They're okay. I'm not like super fond of them, but I'm not like hardcore gaming with this controller either. I'll explain why here in a second. But they're there, they work. What I do love about these are a couple things. First of all, they have anti-friction rings around them, so that's nice. You're getting some smoothness like butter gliding around this thing. You'll throw a little bit of oil in there, a little WD-40. Don't do that, because I don't need you to be like, hey, you ruined my controller, because I know somebody will do that. I literally had someone ask me, I'm not even joking. I had someone ask me if they could put WD-40 in their controller to clean the hollow, to clean the potentiometer sticks out, because I showed them some BW100. Yeah. Listen, don't do that, okay? But this controller has Hall effect sensors in it. That's what I wanted to get to. Went around the back to the front, through the side door, jumped through the window to get there finally, but we got there. The controller has Hall effect sensors, which means the controller will never develop stick drift. That is amazing, that is awesome. there's really not a whole lot more to talk about on that side of things, but I do want to mention the polling rate, excuse me, out of the box. It is a measly 70. So this controller is not a hardcore FPS shooting game controller for like PlayStation, or it's not PlayStation, but PC. The bumpers on the top of the controller are nice. They got a nice little clickiness to them. They don't feel very cheap in my personal opinion. And I like the way they feel, to be 100% with you. And then as well as the triggers on the controller, they are Hall effect triggers. Yep, that's right. You heard me right. They actually have Hall effects in there too. Fun fact for you guys that didn't know, or gals, that the potentiometers that are in your normal joysticks that develop stick drift, 9 out of 10 of them are used in the triggers as well. So not only can you get stick drift in your triggers, you can get stick drift in your or joysticks, you can get stick drift in your triggers as well. So just a little fun fact there. If you knew that, let me know in the comments below. If you didn't know that, let me know in the comments below. So I want to talk about the build of the controller real quick and what the looks of it. I mean, guys, I don't have to say, but this controller looks sick in my personal opinion. I like the way it looks. It's got the nice handprint here on the side, and with the blood and all that dripping down and stuff, it looks really, really, really good in my personal opinion. The colors are pretty vibrant for the most part. I don't really have maybe the blood that's dripping on the top is a little bit not as vibrant as the rest of the controller, but man, I honestly love it. And then not to mention the palm grips where you have your stipple going around the back of the controller, just so you get that good, nice grip around them, especially you little kids that are trying to sweat while playing Fortnite for some reason. And yeah, well, you don't have to worry about the controller slipping out of your little greasy little hands. You got GRIPPLE, stipple with GRIPPLE. We have GRIPPLE on the back of the controller. That is a Pew's Review word of the day, and we're gonna use that word from now on, GRIPPLE. I love it. Do y'all love that word, GRIPPLE? Man, that is an awesome word, GRIPPLE. Anyways, yes, this controller's got GRIPPLE on it, and it's pretty awesome. Let's talk about the build quality on this controller for a second. Now, looking on Amazon and seeing the build of these controllers, this is a newer controller still, so there's no comments on it. There's no information on it. Everything seems to be pretty good about the controller. Now, I have to put this out there because I'm reviewing this controller. My controller actually has a little bit of a gap. I'm putting B-roll up on the screen so you guys can see it, where the GRIPPLE stipple goes around the controller at, and I can actually move it and push it back and forth a little bit. So there's a little bit of a gap there. I don't know if it's just this particular controller. I don't know if it's because it's a white controller and it just looks like that, because there is a gap there. I can see it seal up when I push up on it. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that worries y'all or not. And you know, EasySMX, let me know if it's just this controller. Maybe it's just this controller. I don't know. I want to talk about the back buttons for a second. There are 4 buttons on the back. They are on a rocker themselves. They're okay. I don't have no issues with them. The fingers fit in between the middles perfect. They rock nice and easy. I'm not a big fan of rockers usually, but these particular rockers I'm not mad at. By the way, this controller does wake up with a Nintendo Switch, by the way. This controller also has several other features, including macro buttons, key buttons, and turbo mode. I want to show you how to use all those real quick on the back side of the computer right here. So let's spin around and take a look at that right now. Okay guys, so to do the turbo mode, all you have to do is press the screenshot button and then the button you want to turn into a turbo mode, which means any button. You can do this in any button, okay? So we're going to use Y. So I'm just going to press it and you'll see the buttons, the lights flash kind of. See how it flashed a little bit? Now you see me press the gamepad and you can see it rapidly pressing with me just holding it one down. It's on turbo mode. To turn it off, you just hit it again and it'll go back to normal. I have to hit it, pretty fast to do that. Now you can do this with any of the buttons on the controller. You just have to hit the screenshot plus the button, turns it on, the lights will blink twice to let you know it's on, and then repeat that process to turn them off. To change the intensity of your rumble packs on here, you got 2 of them in here. You would just hold the screenshot button down and then you would press down or up on the D-pad, and you can actually see that it is going up, which that is fully intensified, and then turning it all the way down. You can turn it all the way off if you don't want it on. Simple as that. All right guys, let's talk about macros real quick. So to enable macros, all you're going to do is you're going to hit the plus button on the controller and the back button you want to use. So you'll At the same time, you see all the buttons light up at once, and now all you have to do is push the buttons you want to assign with the back button you press. These are time sensitive, so you know, however you press them, how fast you press them is how it's gonna do. So what we'll do is we'll do Y, X, left, right, up, down, and then we'll press the back button again. Once you do that, the lights will go back to normal. Now when I press it, you should be able to see the buttons go and start pressing on their own. And just so you can see, I'm gonna press it again, and then you'll see all the lights start lighting up on their own. I'll press it one time. There you go. And then to undo that key, you will just do the plus and the back button again. All the lights will light up on the controller, and just press the back button, and now there's nothing associated with that controller. Easy peasy. And then the last feature on here is actual paddle keys. What I mean is you can set a key, a back paddle, up to hit buttons simultaneously, which is weird because you can't hit two buttons that are singled on here simultaneously, but you can set simultaneous buttons up. So what I mean by it is you can, I'll just show you. You hit the minus button and the back button you want to associate with. At the same time, all the keys will light up, and then you would literally press what key you want associated with the back button, and then hit the back button again. Now I just associated every key that I could. There's a couple I missed, but they all do work if you do it right with the back button. So this controller is $46 online. EasySMX actually hooked me up with a discount code PR13. You can enter at checkout by using the link below, and you'll actually get a controller right at $40. It's actually $40.02. I know 2 cents a lot. Please don't freak out about it. But yes, it's $40.02. Let me know in the comments below, do you think this controller is a $40 controller? Is it worth it with everything I talked about on it today? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.